so much for inviting me. First of all, since we were just speaking, our previous speaker was just speaking about a use of AI in creating content, but at the same point of time, also being empathetic. I really like that point. So this particular presentation is, I won't say just created by AI. So what, I haven't written a single word in this presentation. This is entirely created by a particular AI tool called Copilot, where I didn't have to open Word, I didn't have to open PPT. All I did was gave certain cues. Of course, I had an idea of what I'm going to speak about. So I just gave certain cues to Copilot, and it created, and not just written text, but also each of the slides with interactive, all the infographics and so on and so forth. So that's the power of AI we are talking about, and therefore, indeed, AI is one of the things which has almost creeped inside. I mean, we cannot talk about communication in current time. And when I say current time, I'm talking about absolutely now. My title refers to podcast and so on. So be it podcast, be it cinema, be it press release, AI has creeped everywhere, but we have to be very cautious also. Yeah, so there's need for gatekeepers, right? And also communication is not very instantaneous. So it's a different era we are talking about. And I think I'll emphasize the word gatekeeping, which is very present which was very much present in the earlier times. Therefore, communication was very centralized in that sense, very formal. The tone of the communication was also very formal, right? Earlier the goal was to pass the information, right? Very concrete, static information which needs to be passed. Today, the goal has entirely changed. The goal is much more about establishing a connect. Once I've established a connect with my listeners, automatically the information can go, right? And if I cannot establish that connect, which is a lot about eye contact, which is a lot about my movement, which is a lot about other things instead of just the information which I'm trying to pass.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Storytelling is also very important, especially in today's media world, and especially now that hybrid communication is actually the future. All of us have seen how communication has evolved. There was a time when a press release was considered the final word. You issued it and the job was done. It's like I say and you listen. And now it is I say and you respond. But today things work very differently. Audiences don't just want information. They want insight, emotion, and actual real connection, what we call a human connect. That's why the shift from traditional to podcast and digital conversation is so important. Podcasts, especially here, have changed the way we engage. They allow people to speak freely, discuss ideas in depth, and connect with listeners in a far more personal and informal way, what we call a human connect. It's not just about delivering a message anymore. It's about building trust and showing authenticity. The biggest change, in my view, is that communication has become more human, as I was just mentioning. Whether you are representing a brand, an institution, or yourself, people want to hear your voice, the real voice.
First incidents I'll give, this is 2001. You may all know this Ketan Parekh scam. So there was a payment crisis happened in 2001, if I am not wrong, in first half, February or March, that Ketan Parekh scam. That led to payment default in all the stock exchanges, NSE, BSE and Calcutta Stock Exchange. But what happened? Nationally, Calcutta Stock Exchange earned a bad name because they don't have any communication people, no communication policy. So NSE, BSE effectively give a counter narrative, and they have done such a way that ultimately what happened, the thing, onus was on Calcutta Stock Exchange, and within 2-3 years, Calcutta Stock Exchange almost was shut. And now this is a dead stock exchange anyway. So later on, we spoke to many brokers, and they said that because of the lack of communication, Calcutta Stock Exchange was a communication disaster story. Otherwise, it could have revived. Second, I would say the Maggie thing, 2016-17, that's 8-9 years back. Podcast was not very popular at that point of time. So what happened in Maggie when the news came about MSD, monosodium gluconate and lead? There was a lot of hue and cry, and the Maggie sales were down by almost 40-50%. When their Suresh Kumar came in Nestle, within 2 months he joined, and that by that time Maggie was the largest selling product of Nestle in India. They have effectively engaged those retailers. They have called us with retailers. They went meeting the retailers. What they say up to Maggie. Actually, the retailers were so vocal about the Maggie because they say that some of the retailers, they are saying I'm selling Maggie for 45 years. I have not seen any people die eating Maggie. I have seen people, maybe he has consumed 2 truckloads of Maggie in last 45 years. CCD at one point of time was almost dead and gone after their promoter made suicide because they have phenomenal debt, 4,000 crore debt. But podcast they use very effectively. That one point that though they have lots of debt, they have lot of real estate also. Unlike many other retailers, what CCD did, the CCD, most of their outlets is owned by them. So they, as one point they have lot of debt, and one point they have lot of real estate as well. So that's why lot of fund house still infuse fund on CCD because of this narrative, and they revived.
Hello. Yes. A very good afternoon, everyone. So, I tell you, when I started my photography as a hobby a couple of decades back, Raghu Rai, a very prominent and dignitary name in the field of photography, taught me that you must learn the aspect of light, the quality of light. It was a bit confusing for me because I'm still an electrical engineer, so I want everything to be in black and white. What are the rules that I should follow to observe that light? So he taught me some things like you should observe whether the light is harsh or whether it is the soft. So since from the morning everyone is telling that first you know your audience. Again, I'm confused. What should I do to know my audience? So based on that experience, initially I was a bit nervous, but I'm really thankful to Mr. K. M. Prashant from NTPC. He helped me a lot by infusing some words that engineers can work in a better way in this field because they know the working principles of any organization or any company. So I started observing all the complaints of Damodar Valley Corporation. So I just show you a video how we did a brainstorming, and with the help of quality tools like YY analysis, we came to the conclusion that what should be done to make those transformation to those people who are making some bad images of DVC on such social media platforms. They were retired. Everyone, whether they are working in this field, still working, or they are retired, or some who are planning to join DVC are getting those negative feedbacks. We did some brainstorming, we did some YY analysis, and we went to meet them, and we did a questionnaire with them. And when we triggered those questions to them, they started reminding those golden days of DVC. That transformed everything. After that 18 months, I never got any single complaint on any social media platform from them. So I got a conclusion, how to read your audience, how to observe your audience. And this is the fundamental thing for any podcast. You know, press release always travels in a straight line. Communication through press release always travels in a straight line. but it is communicated from one to many. But in podcast, it is the communication between many to many. So I show you that video first, and after that I will take just 1 minute. It is a video of 3 minutes, I think, Saga of Bokaro Thermal. There you can see how they shared their expression, their moments, their emotions about DVC when they were working in our organization.